I'm in Seattle, Washington, and this video has been a long time coming between finding time to get down here, film it, edit, and upload to YouTube. The basic plan for today is real simple. I'm at the Northgate Light Rail Station. We'll take the light rail into downtown. We'll do a lot of the touristy things, so let's get into it. This is the Northgate Light Rail Station. Parking in downtown Seattle can be rough, and then having a taller van makes it even that much worse. I mentioned that we are going to some of the touristy spots, but I'm also going to take you to some of the non-touristy spots, which are equally as cool. I got off the light rail here at Westlake Station. So I'll be exiting Westlake Station near 5th and Pine by the monorail. This is the Seattle monorail, which connects the Westlake Center to the Seattle Center. That's where the Space Needle is, and there's several other attractions there. I won't be doing that on this trip to Seattle. This is Westlake Park, which sits at the corner of 4th and Pike. I walked a couple blocks south along 4th Avenue here. Since I was walking down 4th Avenue, I figured I'd continue to the Seattle Central Library, which we have here. It's a pretty unique structure. Another unique building is this one on here. This is the Rainier Tower, and the base of the building is actually smaller than the top of the building. We're looking up 3rd Avenue here. I'm starting to walk towards the waterfront. I'm at 1st and Union, and there's somewhat of an overlook here. I made it to Pike Place Market. It's basically a giant farmer's market. They have a couple other types of shops and restaurants there, but it's multiple levels. We're looking down Pike Place here, and the market is on both sides of the street. This is the Pike Place Fish Market, and it's well known for when you buy a fish, they'll throw it to the main counter. If you ever happen to come here, you should yell at them to throw a fish. If you go just past the fish market, down the ramp, not the stairs, you get this amazing view. I'm starting to get in the lower levels of the market. These lower levels have some shops that are just as interesting, if not more interesting, than the main level. I'm looking north here along Western Avenue. The structure on the right is all part of the market and that sky bridge. I'm somewhat underneath the market on Post Alley. This is what's known as gum wall, and yes, that is all gum that people have chewed and stuck to the wall. Post Alley is kind of broken up into two sections. There's about a half a block gap between them, and we're on the other section now. This is the original Starbucks. In recent years, they've expanded Pike Place Market and added a bunch of new viewing spots of the waterfront, this being one of them. This is the Pike Street Hill Climb. It connects the market to the waterfront. It's over 100 steps. This is near the base of the Pike Street Hill Climb on the waterfront. These next couple of shots start at Pier 62 and work south towards Ivor's Restaurant. This is just one of the many unique shops on one of the many piers here in Seattle. I found these totem poles to be interesting. I stopped at Ivers to get some fish and chips. Ivers is a Seattle seafood chain. Sorry about the smudge, but Ivers didn't have their outside seating available, so I had to shoot this through a plexiglass window. But what I'm trying to show here is that Seattle has several large firefighting boats. This is a statue of the founder of Ivers feeding seagulls, and people still feed the seagulls today and they get well fed. Here's the Seattle ferry terminal at several destinations, including Bainbridge, Bremerton. I think there's a passenger ferry to West Seattle here. We're looking northish along the waterfront. And now we're looking south along the waterfront, and I'm headed into the business district. This is the Columbia Tower and Center. It's Seattle and Washington State's tallest building. For the longest time, it held the title of having the most number of floors of any building west of the Mississippi. I don't know if that's still the case. Fun fact, the building was supposed to be over 1,000 feet tall, but the FAA stepped in and said you need to lower the height because it's in the flight path of SeaTac Airport. I'm still in the business district, and since there's a few of these trolley buses passing me now, I figured I'd talk about them for a moment. Seattle is only one of the 4 cities that still operate trolley buses. They're buses that have electric motors, and they're fed by overhead wires. The 2 poles on top of this bus connect to the overhead wiring system, which provide power to the bus. You'll see these overhead wires all over town, and they're for the trolley buses. I'm moving along now, and I'm headed into the Pioneer Square neighborhood. Okay, some mistakes were made here. My GoPro battery died. I couldn't remember exactly where I left off filming Pioneer Square, but I'm down by Lumen Field, which is where the Seahawks and the Sounders FC play. I couldn't get a clear answer. This might be part of the Soto neighborhood, it might be part of Pioneer Square, but here we are. Next up, we have King Street Station. This station serves both Amtrak and Sound Transit's commuter trains. This is the Great Northern Tunnel, a rail tunnel that was built in 1905. It runs for 1 mile under downtown Seattle and serves both freight and passenger rail service. We're moving along now, going into Chinatown / the International District. This is the Kobe Terrace and the Danny Wu Community Garden. It's always interesting to find these nature areas in a large city. I'm up on Yesler Terrace now, and this is a portion of the city that I've never actually been to. I also came up here in hopes that I get some good views of the city, and the views that I did get didn't disappoint. After coming down the hill from Yesler Terrace, I jumped on the light rail at the International District Station so that I could cut down on the amount of walking. My next place that I'm going to go to is the Convention Center. I'm on Pike Street now, and that large arch is part of the Convention Center. This part of the Convention Center is on both sides of Pike Street. Over the last few years, the Convention Center has had its name changed several times. I think originally it was the Washington State Convention and Trade Center. I think for a while it was the Washington State Convention Center, and now I guess they must have recently changed it to the Seattle Convention Center. This blackish building right here is a new section of the Convention Center and was built in recent years. This is a shot of Interstate 5 from Olive Way. You can kind of see it. A good portion of the Convention Center is built directly over Interstate 5, and they are planning to build more over Interstate 5 in this area. This is a shot from underneath the Convention Center where it covers Interstate 5. Okay, we're at Freeway Park. This is going to be the last spot in Seattle that I'm going to explore. Now, the spot that I'm standing at now is almost directly above where I was standing at the previous shot, and we're looking at the section of the Convention Center which is built over Interstate 5. Freeway Park abuts the Convention Center, and it too is also built partially over Interstate 5. It's a really cool park. This is looking down Union Avenue from Freeway Park, and that's going to be it for downtown Seattle, so I want to thank you for watching.